This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. You're watching Business Report Africa. I am Ruo Penawo. Prestigious credit rating firm Moody's has predicted that Ghana will find it more expensive to borrow funds to run its economy. They have based this on a decline in its revenues and an increase in the interest rate it pays on debts. Placing the country on the B3 with a negative outlook, the credit rating agency said the country has high exposure to external financing and it is important for the country to implement a strict austere budget. Valued at almost $70 billion, Ghana's economy has so far experienced 2 quarters of the drop in its gross domestic product in the first and second quarters. South Africa's respected economist Miyelani Maluleke has given his expectations of inflation as a 3% rise in March, even as preparations are made to soon release the consumer price inflation rate for the month. The increment is expected to come from higher fuel prices, and February's 2.9% inflation is not expected to spiral out of control. There are expectations that the South African bank will keep interest rates at its current levels throughout 2021. Ivory Coast International Cocoa Organization has highlighted the reduced farm gate price being paid to farmers in the country. The ICCO noted that the mid-crop season, which begins in April, led to a 25% reduction in payments from the Ivorian government to farmers. Its neighboring country, Ghana, had more stability and maintained its farm gate price for the 2020-2021 mid-crop at the same level announced for the main crop. Overall, the downward trend in cocoa prices in the last month were propelled by various factors. After a gap worth 34 billion shillings was discovered at the Imperial Bank, the Central Bank of Kenya in October 2015 placed the bank under receivership, and this changed the financial pace in the country as all those who had deposited billions of shillings in the lender got the attention. However, another group got duped to advance the bank, and it was nearly impossible to recover the money. Even with the knowledge that the bank was failing, its board members failed to report the financial statement fraud to the Capital Markets Authority, CMA. It has been 6 years, and after investors have lost about 2 billion Kenyan shillings, the CMA has begun enforcement hearings of the directors of the collapsed bank, with proceedings commencing against former board members of the bank due to their failure to provide important information. The CMA has gone after 8 directors on grounds that they abetted fraud and breached the duty to depositors. Kenyan Ports Authority has been commended by the Ugandan government for the port's infrastructural improvements, which has led to faster handling of cargo. During a courtesy call on the acting managing director of the Kenyan Ports Authority, Rashid Salim, the new Uganda Consul General to Mombasa Ambassador Paul Mukumbia said the facility played an important role in the bilateral relations of both countries. The ambassador thanked the KPA management for the provisions of high service standards and the responsiveness to issues brought up by the Uganda business community. Business discussions were then held with the MD pertaining to plans on enhancing efficiency at the port of Mombasa and the Northern Corridor. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you're watching Business Report Africa. Do stay tuned. To ensure that sugar exports from Uganda into Kenya are gotten from Ugandan factories, Kenya will now be expected to post trade facilitation officials in Uganda to gather information. In the previous year, Kenya's trade officials refused to allow a section of Ugandan products into the country due to concerns that the goods did not meet the rules of origin and tariff obligations. Yoweri Museveni, Uganda's president, had a meeting with a delegation from Kenya to discuss the verification of the sugar sector. Uganda's acting permanent secretary of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Grace Adong, said the interactions between both sides aim at building a strong regional bloc with fewer trade restrictions. Now in the best countries economic resilience category, which features in the best movers subcategory of US's new best countries annual ranking, Egypt has been ranked 3rd. This category's purpose, is to more or less predict a country's future growth in terms of per capita purchasing power and gross domestic product. For the second year in a row, the UAE has been ranked first in this category, followed by India. Overall, India has been named the 33rd best country in the world, 8th in the heritage category, 51st in quality of life, 54th in social purpose, and 66th in open for business categories. Egypt's Minister of Trade and Industry, Naveen Gamia, has revealed that during the first quarter of 2021, Egypt's non-oil exports saw an increase of 6%. It increased $7.438 billion compared to $6.99 billion in the same period of 2020. There was also a slight increase of 2% during the first quarter of 2020 in Egyptian imports, and this contributed to a 1% decrease in trade deficit. The International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, hosted an agricultural fair in Bukavu from 8th to 9th of April with the theme Agriculture as Business, Source of Income for Smallholders Farmers in South Kivu. The objective was to highlight IITA's research contribution in favor of smallholder farmers in South Kivu. New high-yield rice varieties in the DRC and small agricultural machines replicable locally in the rice growing system were highlighted, and new fodder species were introduced. The project focused on support for women and youth, placing emphasis on agribusiness training in different agricultural value chains with partner support on business management. A free trade center is earmarked for establishment at the new Lapula border between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, according to Lapula Province Minister Dixon Chilangwa, the trade center, which will be created in Mwesi district, will bring sanity in cross-border trading. Reports of an investor who has expressed interest in investing in a special economic and trade zone that will change the way cross-border trading is conducted have spread wide, and the minister is expecting that cross-border traders will conduct business in a non-congested, serene, and conducive environment as opposed to the current situation. You're still watching Business Report Africa on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. There's more after the break. Just stay tuned. And now in Nigeria, the recent defense by the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria over the printing of about 60 billion naira has gotten different reactions from experts. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki said through CBN, the federal government completed the share of the monthly federal allocations for March in 2021. This claim was, however, faulted by the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele cleared the air on this by saying printing money is the key mandate of the bank, and it was part of lending to the government at difficult times. He said it was irresponsible for the CBN to not support the government at this time, and assured that government was concerned about the rising inflation figures and plans were being put in place to tackle it. The federal government is keen on more private sector partnerships with intentions to increase renewable energy access in the country. Mr. Godi Jediagba, Minister of State for Power, while inspecting the 609 kilowatts peak Jabi Lake Mall hybrid solar power plant in Abuja, built by Actis, a United Kingdom managed firm, said the company is proof that one can cut down energy bills through this project, and this should be emulated in other places. He advised investors to build more ties with the discos who have the franchise to help them build important partnerships. Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to help with measures that can counter the advantages of cryptocurrencies exchanges as a channel for diaspora remittances. According to APCON, these measures are necessary in order to redirect diaspora remittance inflow from cryptocurrency exchanges to official channels. APCON noted that when migrants send money across borders, they prefer the minimal transaction cost of cryptocurrency exchanges, as opposed to the high cost of traditional money transfer companies. Nigeria's Securities Markets Regulator and the Central Bank of Nigeria are working together to find the best way to forge ahead on digital currency, while acknowledging that the recent ban by the bank had changed the flow of Nigeria's digital currency industry, the SEC pledged support to promote innovation. In the world, Nigeria is the second largest peer-to-peer digital currency market and the leader in Africa. The SEC's Director General Lamido Yuguda revealed that efforts were being made to find a way around the ban. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says in January, revenue generated by the federal government dropped to 807.54 billion naira, representing a decline of 12.8% when compared to January 2020. This is due to the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on business activities, as well as the shortfalls in tax revenue. And on a final note, in CBN exchange rate, dollar to naira has a buying rate of 379 and a selling price of 380 naira. Pounds to naira has a buying rate of 523 naira and a selling price of 524 naira. Euro to naira has a buying rate of 454 naira and a selling price of 454 naira. And the South African rand has a buying rate of 26 naira and a selling price of 26 naira. And that's all we have on Business Report Africa. Thank you for watching. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles at TOSTV Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TOSTV Network. I am Ruel Panawa.